James Hawes, director of Rami Malek's The Amateur, helms lanterns in James Gunn's DCU, with his thriller expertise fueling high hopes. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Rami Malek and Rachel Brosnahan left no stone unturned when they showed up on the screens together in their thriller action film released earlier this year, The Amateur. From a script written by Ken Nolan and Gary Spinelli and based on the 1981 novel of the same name by Robert Little, it was helmed by British director James Hawes. It has been a while since James Gunn took control of the DCU, and his soft rebooted version of the respective superverse seems to be unfolding pretty epically already. For one, his action series Creature Commandos fared perfectly well with fans and critics worldwide, and his upcoming Project Lanterns is expected to follow suit. But wait. Although it is not known yet if this forthcoming television series based on different Green Lantern characters from DC Comics will be good enough or not, Rami Malek's The Amateur just might help with that, since it has been tamed by none other than the very director who is also involved with the DC show, James Hawes. But his supervisors refuse to take action on the same, so Charlie takes matters into his own hands. Making his intelligence his ultimate weapon, he embarks on a dangerous mission to track down those responsible from across the globe. The movie was recently released for streaming on Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV, and Sky Store at home, available to be rented and/or bought. But the surprising part is that it was actually helmed by the very director who was also hired to direct 2 episodes of Lanterns. Encircling the life of brilliant CIA decoder Charlie Heller, played by Malek, it saw his world come crashing down when his wife, played by Brosnahan, was killed in a terrorist attack in London. Not to mention, he also holds some fair title credits up his sleeve, like One Life, 2023, and The Challenger Disaster, 2013. Judging from all of this, it's more than just evident that James Hawes knows how to tame his action thriller fair enough to captivate and please his audiences, though not everyone might agree with his perspective. Made on a production budget of $60 million, the movie snatched $95.8 million from box offices worldwide, per the numbers. While that feat's not all that profitable or commendable, the reception and reviews of The Amateur from fans and critics worldwide ostensibly speak volumes about how epic of a job James Hawes did on the flick. According to the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, the movie currently stands at a sweet 88% approval score from general audiences opposite a 61% score from critics. Mixed reviews from critics, yes, but the flick is pretty praiseworthy considering the positive reviews that deemed it to be among the range of an aggressively competent spy thriller, per IndieWire. At the same time, to land the final verdict of how James Gunn's upcoming series Lanterns will fare with critics and fans based on these would be too early to say. That said, for now, fans might as well just watch the movie and decide for themselves if they like Hawes' style or not, letting it serve as a litmus test for the forthcoming DCU TV series. James Gunn has a very specific strategy when it comes to Superman and Supergirl that could completely alter how DC competes with Marvel. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. One of the most consistent and long-running aspects of the superhero genre is continuity. These films are known for their interconnected nature, making it so that there are a lot of films that a viewer has to watch before they can understand what is happening in new releases. DC Studios has also followed a similar formula when it first started releasing the new age of its films in the DCU. James Gunn and Kevin Feige have been trying their very best to pull together their respective franchises. For years, Marvel and DC fans were at each other's throats, with constant arguments about which is better plaguing their interactions. However, as both franchises started to lose their fanbase and desperately tried to grasp onto relevance, this didn't seem to matter anymore. All of a sudden, both were in survival mode and doing damage control. While this stage went on for a few years for both franchises, they both seem to have reached a relatively stable position now. With their bigger projects being around the corner, a little competition might not be the worst thing, and DC seems to be winning. Elaborating on this, Gunn revealed that he is trying to shape Alcock's film in a manner that viewers can watch it without needing to watch Corenswet's film. This could imply that the DCU is trying to stray away from making all of the films a requirement to watch. However, now that Zack Snyder has parted ways from the franchise and everything has been put in the hands of James Gunn, he seems to be taking a very different approach with the films that he is making. Since David Corenswet's Superman and Millie Alcock's Supergirl seem to be the most significant films from the franchise's lineup, Gunn recently talked about them during an interview with Entertainment Weekly. While he revealed the overall plan for both of these films on this subject, It could be showcasing the approach that the franchise is taking for all of its films, and it could be genius. Gunn confessed that Superman and Supergirl are not going to be connected in the storyline. I am really trying to be careful that anybody can dip in and see the story that is up next and not feel like they're missing information. In the time that DC has been gathering itself and starting fresh, one of the biggest criticisms that Marvel has received is that audiences now have too much material to watch before new releases. Releasing multiple projects in a year can be very stressful for the viewers as well. Although the franchise has stopped such an approach now, they did release a lot of content during the time when they were still doing it. This has caused fans to get overwhelmed and frustrated, fully leaving the fanbases due to the amount of homework that they have to do. On paper, James Gunn's strategy for DC Studios seems flawed. One could argue that now that he has confessed this, fans who just want a Supergirl film will only watch that, reducing the revenue of Superman. However, Gunn seems to trust his viewers a lot more than this. Kevin Feige doesn't seem to have learned from this, as Avengers: Doomsday will require audiences to watch over 10 projects before they can even consider stepping into that theater. With this in mind, there is no denying that viewers will find DC's laid-back and audience-focused approach to films much better than Marvel's strategy. James Gunn's Superman trailer teases a fresh start but echoes Snyder's darkest dilemma. Lex targets Clark's loved ones, like Zod once did. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn lobbed a heat vision blast straight into the Snyderverse debate with his first Superman trailer, and it's already splitting the fandom. The new look at David Corenswet's Clark Kent is lighter in color, sure, but the theme seems strikingly familiar. James Gunn's Superman trailer dropped, and it's not shying away from tension. The visuals may scream fresh start, but the core conflict feels hauntingly familiar to longtime DC fans. With Lex Luthor threatening the people closest to Clark Kent, the emotional weight mirrors past Superman showdowns, especially those seen under Zack Snyder's direction. This time, the danger feels more psychological than physical, but just as personal. The trailer blends classic Superman optimism with unsettling threats, setting up a story that could echo old dilemmas in new ways. Snyder fans are calling it déjà vu, the military standoff, the tension between alien savior and fragile humanity. And now, a powerful bald genius is targeting Lois Lane and family. It's the same emotional conundrum, repackaged in Gunn's pastel-filtered world. But Gunn's not exactly pretending this is a reboot without roots. There's a clear wink at what came before, even as it tries to break free. The real question is, will this Superman break the cycle or just relive it in HD? From the jump, the trailer leans into the age-old Man of Steel dilemma. What happens when Earth's mightiest alien is forced to choose between saving the world or protecting his own? Sound familiar? That's because Superman shows Lex Luthor, played by Nicholas